All right, so this is a fun one from a user called Plastic Reward. He's looking for a parametric design where he can say 2 steps or 4 steps, for example, and then he kind of gives an example of what the output should look like, which is really nice. You already have like an end result that he's going for. He just wants a way to do this parametrically. And this is relatively straightforward, but there's a few ways to attack this depending on what your design intent is. So this first way here that I'm going to show you is the outside dimensions are driving plus a number of steps. So we'll change the parameters here and you can see that we have a rise and a run. And if we change these to say 300, you can see it changing live there, or we can change the number of steps to 6 and automatically adjust that for us. And this is really powerful when you have something that is repetitive and you have a lot of variance, but all it's doing is changing the number of something or one of the general dimensions. And so we can show that again, so we can squeeze it or stretch it out. So like I said, this first one, we're affecting the rise, which is going to be the up, and the run, which is the length, and then we're choosing the number of steps. And then so the rise and run of each of these steps is then determined by the rise divided by the number of steps and the run divided by the number of steps. So that's one way of looking at it. Or you could specify the rise and run of the step and the number of steps and then let the model expand or contract in that way. And so let's take a look at what that looks like. So these step rise and step run are now the driving dimensions. And if I change this to say 50, this got way shorter. And maybe this one can also match at 50. I'll make an equal step here. So you got shrunk down. And if we go to 5 of these steps, again, it shrinks again. So basically the outside dimensions are being driven by the rise and run of the step and the number of steps in our model. So in this case, we're allowing the model to expand and contract basically infinitely depending on how many steps you have and the size of each individual step, versus the first one where we're outlining the box that we want this to live within, and then we're saying how many steps we want within that box. The fun thing here is that both of these are modeled the exact same way, and so let's jump into that right here. We're going to create a new part, and we're going to create a sketch on that front plane. We're going to do a rectangle, and then from here, I already know what my parameters are, but for 1 second, let's just take a look at, all right, this is like a general shape for 2 steps, right? You got 1, 2, and you've got your rise, which is your overall dimension, and your run, which is your overall dimension at the bottom here. And then you can see that your step rise is half of your overall rise and your step run is half of your overall run. So 2 steps, your step run is your overall run divided by 2. And then if we did 3, it would be divided by 3, and 4 divided by 4. And so this starts to get us closer to a parametric mindset. For now, we're just going to do this square divided into this line, and I can start making some parameters. So I know that I need a overall rise, and we're going to call this 100 for now. And I'm going to have a run. We'll call it 150. So in this use case, I'm going to be having these be the driving dimensions, the overall rise and overall run. And I can do plus again. So now I need my step, my number of steps. So you can make this a whole number of steps, or you could go the programmer route and go something like num steps. And I don't want a unit on this, and we'll call 3 to begin with. The number there really doesn't matter. A lot of these numbers don't matter because you're making it parametric, so it'll adjust and you can just modify these later if you really want to. And so now we need a step rise, and here's where we start to get fancy. Step rise is going to be equal to your overall rise divided by num steps. And then we're going to do the same thing for your run. So I'm going to get a step run, and that's going to be equal to my overall run divided by num steps. And that gets us pretty close. There's another dimension you'll need, but you don't necessarily have to create this as a parameter, and I'm just calling that the width. That's the amount that we're going to extrude it out. So basically the width of the stairs, and for this one maybe we'll just do 100 for now. Okay, and some people might want to also create a parameter for the hypotenuse, which is the long line on this rectangular triangle, but I'm going to do that in the actual feature that we create. So I'm going to do OK there. And now I can add some dimensions here. So that's our run. And this is going to be our rise. And you can see all those variables below. So we don't want step rise, we want rise. And that's all we need for this sketch. I'm going to extrude this bottom half, and then for this I'm going to do the width. That was the width of our stairs, so the basically how wide they are. Okay, so there we go, we got a shape started here. Now I'm creating a new sketch on the side profile here, and I'm going to use the line tool to go up perpendicular and then make contact with that line on the edge of the triangle. And here I'm going to dimension this guy as the step rise. And here, if I try and dimension this one, over constrained sketch, I don't want to create a driven dimension. I'm going to do cancel. So basically the relationship between this line and that line and this triangle that we've created, this is automatically going to be the right size. And Fusion is telling you you can't dimension this because it's already fully defined. So we're going to leave it as is, and that's all we need to do for that sketch. We're going to extrude this guy. And so we have two options here. We could do a negative width. And as we change the width, it would automatically adjust that extrusion that we just did. Alternatively, for parametric designs, you can also, instead of a distance, do a to object, and it will recognize that face on the other side every time. And if we change that width, it'll automatically change that for us. If we go modify the width, let's just prove ourselves right or wrong here, 150, and you can see that it follows it. It follows that face that we made before. So I'll leave it at 150 and say okay there. Right, so now we have one step, and we're almost there, but now we need to create a pattern of that feature. So pattern on path. You might be tempted to go find rectangular pattern, but no, we want a pattern on path because we're going to follow this edge on here, and it's selecting these features, which is not right. I'm going to select that triangle that we made from the timeline down here, and it's going to look like it highlighted everything, but that's not the case. You'll see once we start doing the pattern itself. So path, we want this edge of the triangle, and then you can drag out and you'll see those steps get created. So basically we want all the way up there. If we weren't doing a parametric design, we could leave it there at just a regular distance and a quantity, but we actually want the number of steps to be our quantity, which makes sense. Like we want as many steps as there are number of steps. And then our distance, this is the most complicated part of the whole thing. We want the square root of the rise step squared, so exponent 2, that's squared, plus the run step, or step run, exponent 2. I made a mistake on that previous variable. This should have been step rise. There we go. Step rise exponent 2 plus step run exponent 2, and then the square root of that little equation there. And instead of extend, I want the spacing. Oh, that's right. It erases that little equation. Let's do that again. Square root of the step rise exponent 2 plus step run exponent 2. And that looks like what we want. So now we have the number of steps that's driving how many of these we pattern, and we have the hypotenuse of this step, right? And then we're saying that's the spacing we want. So it's going to put 1 every time that line happens. So 1, 2, 3, like we have 3 here. And we do OK. And there we go. That's our overall shape that we wanted. And finally, to get that thin feature, we just shell these 3 sides. We could give it a thickness. You could make a parameter for this too, or you can just hard code it in there. And now you have the shape that you were looking for. And so from here, we can look at the modify, cancel out of that, modify, parameters. And so the rise and run were our driving dimensions in this one. So we can say 200, and see it stretch. And maybe we do 300, stretches the overall dimensions. And then we could say we want 10 steps. We automatically get that change in there. And 5. There you can see that this is solid. It's working the way we want it to. Another addition to this, we could, if you didn't want this last section and you just wanted the steps to be created on their own, you could edit that, and then you could also control hit that face as well. And now you just have the top of the stairs. That might be a shape that you're looking for also in that pattern. There's other ways you could achieve this too, but that's one option. And then if I hit control and I touch that face again, then it comes back. Okay, and so, like I said, 2 ways to approach this. You either have the outside dimensions driving, which is what we created here, or you have the steps driving. And so the fun thing is that we don't actually have to change the way we modeled this. We just have to change the way we set up our parameters. So if I change this parameter, the rise, I can give it a solid number. So let's call it 50. The run, I could call 75. And it's going to look funky for a little bit before we actually get this working. Now the rise is equal to step rise times number of steps. And our run is equal to step run times number of steps. And we're back to a working model. And you can see that if we increase the number of steps, it actually expands. It just keeps going, right? It's the same size step, but it kept going. Same thing if we retract it down and go to 5 again, it's going to be half. So yeah, 2 ways to approach it. I hope that was useful. I hope you liked that one, and I will see you in the next one.